Says cool and temperamental with a chance of rain in the forecast. Let's look at today's finalists and how they arrived. The top 4 seeds advanced to yesterday's semis, and Steffi Graf prevailed over Gabriela Sabatini in straight sets. And it was Arantxa Sanchez Vicario rallying from a set down and a breakdown against Jennifer Capriati to earn another chance against Steffi Graf. This is the 23rd time those two players have met, and often in a final. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and welcome to our same-day coverage of this rich tournament for women. Back in 1973, $100,000 total prize money, unheard of for women players. And today, the total purse is $750,000, $150,000 of which will go to today's winner. And a person who knows very well about the till and how it works in the clay, the master of this clay service, Chris Everett. 125 in a row you won, matches in a row. You won this tournament 8 times, the French Open 7 times. Who's counting?
I hope you are.
And you do too. What is it about clay that made it so special for you?
Well, I was brought up on clay. I started playing when I was 5 years old. Also, it's a slow surface, and that was the one surface Martina could not overpower me. So that's why I enjoyed it.
And both of the players today also grew up on clay, and we talked about their many meetings. Sanchez Vicarios won 4 of 22, but 2 weeks ago, a very big victory for the Spaniard. That was at the Lipton.
Well, she did. She beat her at the Lipton, and you can see a pattern as we see this match. You can see a pattern here. Arantxa is just getting the ball back, not doing anything spectacular with it, just playing some steady, patient, consistent tennis, and really waiting for Steffi to make the error. She made 63 unforced errors in that match, and that's why she lost the match and Arantxa won it.
And many of those errors were on Graf's forehand. So what does she learn in defeat?
I think what Steffi is going to do today, she does not want to stay out there all day with Arantxa, because Arantxa runs down balls better than anyone on the circuit. We're going to see Steffi Graf at the net, cutting off those volleys and making the points a lot shorter.
Well, Graf, number 2 in the world behind Monica Seles, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, Bud Collins, has moved into the number 3 spot. And the talk around the tennis camps are that Arantxa really has a design on being number 1. Is that realistic?
Well, the design for the Barcelona Bumblebee is the important thing. I think it's a long shot, but she wants to be there. She wants to get to the net. She's playing more than any other woman. She has 2 doubles matches to come after this singles final. She wants to perfect her volley under her new coach, Carlos Kiermaier. And you know those 4 wins she's had, quality wins. You pointed out the Lipton, French final in 1989, French semifinal in 1991, and a U.S. Open victory only last year. I think it's going to be a race to see who gets to the net first. Not immediately, because they're steadily baseliners, but Arantxa Sanchez Vicario is really moving, and I think she can win.
The tradition continues here at Hilton Head Island, the Family Circle Cup, edition number 21. Steffi Graf, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, coming up.
The first annual Family Circle Magazine Cup is brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. By Tide, if it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide. By Kikkoman and their family of fine Oriental sauces. And by Coors Light, the silver bullet is the right beer now.
Steffi Graf seeking her 4th Family Circle Championship. She won in 86, 87, 89, and those are her 4 opponents, having not lost a set.
Pretty easy tournament so far. She had a sloppy second round match against Federica Bonsignori, but she beat Silke Frankel easily, the young American Shonda Rubin, and then Gabriela Sabatini in the semifinals. She really let her off the hook.
And Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, Bud.
Also winning over 4, watch that name, Nadine Ercegovic, a young Croat. Sabina Hack, the German, and yesterday winning the last 10 games of the match from 4-2 down in the second to beat Capriati.
Steffi Graf serving to open this championship final. Caught the baseline.
People moving behind Graf.
23rd meeting. Graf commanding 18-4 advantage. But the last, 2 weeks ago, the finals of the Rich Lipton tournament, won by Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, 6-4, 3-6, 6-3.
That was on an asphalt court at Key Biscayne.
I think fitness might be the key to this match. But, you know, we were talking about Arantxa, who's played more singles and doubles than anyone. And she had 2 late doubles matches last night and the night before. And her coach, Carlos Kiermaier, said she's definitely tired today.
But she's adamant about wanting to do this. We talked to her last night. She said, oh, I want to play them all. Umpire is Mary Lou Tierney, whose voice we hear.
A day for sweaters and jackets, warm-ups. Temperature right near 60 degrees.
Arantxa looking a little slow getting to that serve.
To take up the attack.
Attacking Steffi, opening up that forehand side of the court. It's a good tactic.
Steffi Graf, who used some beautiful drops yesterday in her victory. Steffi Graf opens this 1993 final. Dominant players in tennis. She's won 70 tournaments since the start of 1986. The first right here in April of '86. Beat Chris Evert in the final. Going for number 71, that would tie her with Billie Jean King, number 5 all time in tournament victories.
Oh, it nearly hit her. And that, of course, would have been loss of point, regardless of where she was.
Whoa, she almost didn't get out of the way of that ball.
And it was just a ball's width long. Terrific defensive stab by Graf.
Getting hit by an out ball would have been very embarrassing. Happened to Roscoe Tanner once at Wimbledon Center Court.
I asked Carlos Kiermaier, Arantxa's coach, what the strategy would be today. And as you see Carlos right there, just began coaching Arantxa this year. He used to coach Gabriela Sabatini, and he said, you know, I'm not going to tell her to stay away from Steffi's forehand. I'm going to tell her every third ball or so, go down the line or give some high loopy shots to Steffi forehand. Keep her honest.
Martina Navratilova has played Steffi very well that way. Gets her backed over into that backhand corner, then goes down.
Especially if you have a good down-the-line backhand like Arantxa or a Sabatini. You can really catch her off guard. that was a difficult overhead because she kept running towards the ball. She really didn't stop and give herself time to set up. She's just moving into the ball, and that's not an easy shot.
That's a shot similar to the one Jennifer Capriati missed yesterday on a break point in the third set. Easy ball, she fluffed it, and she never recovered. Got bageled in the third by Sanchez Vicario.
It's 1-all. Coming up next, Michael Jordan takes his air show and probably a pretty good forehand as well to historic Boston Garden. Reggie Lewis and the Celtics await. The Bulls and the Celtics next here on NBC.
That's Garden, Dick. Garden.
Oh, Boston Garden. Will it be around, I guess, a few more years?
Oh,
huh?
I think so. It's just getting good and right.
The court, I feel, favoring Arantxa. Court looks slow. The conditions are muggy and heavy.
Steffi said that. She was out here working at 9 o'clock, and she said they put an awful lot of water on it. It's heavy.
And also, after a few games, the balls really fluff up. They become bigger and heavier.
Early opening now for Arantxa at love 30. Six unforced already for Steffi, who played impeccably yesterday in the first set.
She made only 15 in the first 12 games yesterday.
A little unlucky with that net cord, but Steffi went for the open court, and Arantxa anticipated it.
And she knows how big that play was. 3 chances to take the early lead.
Wow, look how close she is to that net. That's what doubles does to you. It really encourages you to go to the net, sharpens your volley.
So at love, Sanchez Vicario with the early break and leads 2-1. 21 years old now, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. 89, the French Open champion. The world met her. Her idols, her brother Emilio, because he's such a steady player, she says, and she says he's my brother. Connors because of his spectacular play, and Stefan Edberg because he's the cutest. Those are her
No
top.
women idols, huh?
That's long.
Talented family. Emilio and Javier Sanchez, top players on the men's side.
Fräulein forehands. Forehand is flighty today.
And that was the problem 2 weeks ago for Graf when he just couldn't find the forehand.
Well, she needs to settle down. She needs to get into the right frame of mind right now. She's not playing Gabriela Sabatini anymore. Gabby gives her a few unforced errors, but she has to really be patient out there.
Getting to that forehand.
No, she really is picking on Steffi's forehand, which is great. Steffi expected this shot to go to her backhand and was wrong-footed, and therefore hit that forehand late.
Yeah, she's saying hit the forehand if you can.
She's just going to keep picking on that shot, because Steffi's making a lot of errors off that side right now.
Arantxa a point from a 3-1 lead.
yesterday so well against Gabriela Sabatini, coming into the net with such confidence and such anticipation, and she needs to do that more, especially if her ground game's not working.
Gust of wind.
Oh.
Well, that featured Arantxa, Sanchez, Vicario. How often do you see her with a point? Seems to be in the command of her opponent, and that defensive lob bails her out of trouble. That was just parachuted right down on the baseline and kept her alive. One, 3, Graf.
This is their third successive springtime meeting on the Kraft Tour.
Maybe a little distracting seeing Steffi up at the net. I think she took her eye off the ball.
Steffi won the Delray Beach final in Florida, and Arantxa Lipton. So they're 1-all in the spring, both on asphalt.
But Arantxa's beaten her in some pretty big tournaments. The U.S. Open in '92, Lipton this year, 2 French Opens.
A classic puncher counter puncher, with Arantxa chasing down every drive off the racket of Graf. Chair umpire Turney stays with the call. 30-love.
Yeah, Pete Conklin made it. And
no, wait, now they're going to replay the point.
She said replay the point.
Scoreboard had already gone to 30-love.
I thought the ball hit the line.
Arantxa moving all over the court. Steffi just trying to tire her out, but she comes up with a cross-court winner. I still think if Steffi can keep her out there for a long time, Arantxa's fitness might be questionable.
Good approach. You questioned it only because of Arantxa's workload this week.
Workload and the whole year. She plays singles and doubles every single week, and also because first-hand information from her coach. Carla said, hey, she's tired.
Set the record last year for most matches on the women's tour ever. Broke Martina's record set back in 1982 of 165. She played in 167 matches, and she's been the busiest player on the tour again this year. With the 2 doubles today, if she wins her semifinal, that'd be 40 matches already this year.
All I can say is she can do it at 21 years old, but when she's 25, she won't be playing this much.
Change-up forehand by Arantxa.
She really is changing the pace beautifully and adding variety. Steffi's tried to hit a couple of drop shots from the baseline. I think she's too far back to try that shot. Really drilled that backhand shot. Risky shot when you're at the baseline.
Graf referred to that as fooling around against Sabatini yesterday.
She makes that point look so easy. Steffi anticipated that well, but left the whole court open.
And Arantxa deceptively quick, isn't she?
She's very quick, and she's taking the ball on the rise, taking the ball early.
Point for 4-1.
Graf knocks away a big break point that would have left her 2 service games down in this opening set.
Yeah, as you watch Arantxa, she's trying to play just inside the baseline as she can. Take that ball immediately after it strikes the court.
You have to have good timing on the ball to play like that.
Now, we don't have Monica Seles here, who dropped out of this tournament with illness, but Arantxa's developing a nice double clutch grunt. It's not like Monica, but it's...
Mary Lou Turney heard that last grunt and asked for a little silence.
Well, she'll hear more when she does a Seles match.
Well, for that, you will have to wait. Well, return. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario leads 3-2 opening set. Winning the 1993 Player Who Makes a Difference Award from Family Circle magazine. And that kiss was actually part of her speech up to Chris Everett in our broadcast booth. Her work in children's charities, supporting battered women, fight against AIDS. For many contributions to society away from tennis being honored. Last year it was Dina Garrison, and this year the prestigious award from the publishers of the Family Circle Cup magazine goes to Martina Navratilova. You know firsthand that she is most sincere about helping others.
No, she is. She's very giving, and you can't forget about Martina as far as her tennis is concerned. She's won 2 tournaments this year. She's beaten this woman, Steffi Graf, and has a win over the #1 in the world, Monica Seles. Don't forget her for this summer.
Plenty of good tennis left, but she didn't play here. She has a sprained right ankle. I said, how'd you do that? Playing basketball.
That's her second favorite sport.
Well, that's what makes her a great athlete. She does play other sports. Helps her tennis, that's for sure.
Arantxa Sanchez Vicario serving 3-2 in the opening set.
And she's getting a lot of help from her opponent, Steffi Graf.
Steffi feeling frustrated about her forehand. She knows this is probably losing the match more than anything.
Hit the line.
Another forehand miss. And again, to repeat yesterday, if you weren't with us, Graf almost admitted that she agreed with you, Chris, that she's never played better. 13 unforced already. She had only 15 unforced errors in the first 12 games yesterday.
Well, she used up her best tennis yesterday, and that's the wonderful thing about tennis, is that you never know from day to day how you're going to play. Arantxa really flattens out this serve. Good placement on the ball.
So she holds it love in a 4-2 lead.
Arantxa's position in the double, she's playing with Larissa Neiland of Latvia. They're at 2 games all in the 3rd set. against Katrina Adams of Chicago and Manon Bollegraf of the Netherlands. That's a semifinal. If they win that, then she'll play the final.
All after this singles final. Beautifully played point, won by Graf.
Great court coverage by Steffi Graf. She's an aggressive player, but also a wonderfully defensive player. Caught Arantxa by surprise.
Second stroke, the longest rally.
And that defensive lob into the wind, holding up for Graf.
She's not winning her points from the baseline, so she has to really take advantage of those mid-court and short balls. She has a good volley. She won Wimbledon. You have to have a good volley to win Wimbledon.
Steffi Graf, but it's Arantxa Sanchez Vicario who leads 4-3.
Steffi Graf never misses an overhead. She really gets into position, sets herself up well, keeps her eye on the ball.
Arantxa serving 4-3 in the opening set. It nibbled the outside edge of the line.
Good approach by Graf. And that shouldn't discourage her. She's got to do more of it.
But Arantxa has lost only 3 points in her 3 previous service games. And here 4-3, 15 love. Didn't like the ball. The serve percentage, Graf, who was high 60s and 70s yesterday against Sabatini, but
unforced errors, that tells the key so far.
-5 for Graf in the differential. That's 8 straight service points won by Arantxa.
Well, the place is just about full, 10,000 seats. When John Moreno and Jack Jones started this 20 years ago, gave the women $100,000, people said they were crazy. And the founders are not here this year, but we send our greetings. They really upgraded women's tennis. Rosie Casals won that 30 grand. She's here. That was the first prize.
Mm. 40-15. And it was Bob Young, the president and publisher of Family Circle Cup magazine at that time.
Steffi once again, probably her favorite shot. She has such a great serve. Usually when you have a good serve, chances are you're going to have also a good overhead.
Sanchez Vicario has a marvelous overhead, too.
You know, talking about this tournament, it was always a favorite when I was playing on the circuit because it always was the first outdoor tournament after 3 long months of indoor, cold, you know, arenas. And the players are so happy to get outside and go to the beach and, you know, just enjoy the outside atmosphere.
It's the coming out party for the women on tour. And, of course, then the fact that it made many women millionaires. It's the start of financial recognition. Well, long, and Sanchez Vicario a game away from the opening set.
That first year, in 1973, Rosie Casals was not considered a clay court player. She beat Billie Jean King and Nancy Ritchie, who was a dynamite clay court player, in succession to win, and Rosie never won another tournament on clay.
Yeah.
Well, this is the 21st championship, Family Circle Cup, and only 6 women have won it. Chris with 8, Martina 4 times, Steffi goes for number 4, Tracy, Sabatini, and Rosie the very first.
Tracy Austin is here today, too. She entered the International Tennis Hall of Fame just last summer at Newport, Rhode Island. Now she's making her comeback.
Getting married this month in a few weeks.
Scott Holt.
It's a good time for her. And Steffi probably realizing, hey, I'm not having any success from the baseline. This girl's just running down all my shots. I'm making too many errors off the forehand side. I've got to change something. And she is. She's coming into the net.
And it's been successful for her. All but 3 of her trips, 14 trips to the net, coming away with points. And she's on a run on her own serve of 9 straight service points won. After being broken at love in the 3rd game of this set, and that giving Arantxa the lead she enjoys.
Boy, if she can do this, play this way, this aggressively on clay courts, think how tough she's going to be on the fast grass courts at Wimbledon. She is not playing her usual clay court match here. Very aggressive.
And her approach took away all the angles.
But you know, you can win this way. Martina Navratilova won this tournament 4 times. Martina won the French. She was a great clay court player, and she did it at the net.
I said to Steffi yesterday, in the early rounds when you're beating people love and one, why don't you just play a lot of serve and volley? She said to me, I would find that very boring. I said, for an athlete like you? She said, yes.
Graf holds. When we return, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario will be serving for the opening set. It's Mother's Day here on this Sunday on Hilton Head Island.
Marisa Sanchez. Arantxa is a late starter in that family. She'd had Emilio, Javier, and a daughter called Marisa, and didn't believe she could have any more children. One day, you remember that amusement park at the top of Barcelona, Tibidabo?
Yes, indeed.
She went up there and rode the roller coaster, and then she conceived. She's never met a roller coaster she hasn't liked since then. And so you look up there and you say, thanks for Arantxa, the roller coaster at Tibidabo in Barcelona.
And what amusement her daughter has provided.
Now she was hesitant about approaching and she got caught.
But Steffi came up with a very good topspin backhand, hit the ball on the rise. Right here. Hardly let the ball bounce, just flicked it with her wrist. And really rushed Arantxa on that volley.
Good approach by Graf.
Now she's really trying to rush Arantxa, force some action here. Good slice backhand approach, very effective to come into the net.
She can do that. I think she can return to #1 if she'll continue that sort of play.
And that wild backhand gives Graf 3 chances to break and draw even at 5-all.
Now Arantxa feeling the pressure. She feels that she has to go for her shots like Steffi was, but she just overhit that ball. Good if you're going to drop shot Arantxa, probably one of the quickest players on the tour. She really scurries here. And she anticipated this volley. Open court.
Not out of trouble yet.
That's a top spinner.
Yep.
And it pays off. Graf has broken back, and this first set even at 5-all.
And even if that topspin doesn't win the point right away, it mixes up the pace, because I think the players get too used to Steffi's slice backhand. They really get in a groove of hitting it back.
She's got that shot. She's been sparing with it. She hit it only once in the entire final at Lipton against Sanchez Vicario.
What kind of mixture did you have, Chris? Backhand slice to top spin. Did you have any kind of formula? I mean, if you really added it all
I want to
up,
hear this answer.
I'm like cringing in my seat here. I didn't have the variety that these women have now, that's for sure. I had a drop shot in the lob, though.
In other words, you just wailed away on that backhand wing and hit it flat and hard. And
I hit it pretty much the same way most of the time. Mixed it up with some drop shots, topspin lobs. But the game definitely in this era has more variety, and there's more shot making taking place.
Later in your career, you developed more variety, to be fair to you.
Thank you, Bud.
You feel the racket size had something to do with it. The fact that you played your entire career with, almost the entire career with wood.
Half of my career with a wood racket, you know, and it's sort of annoying when they keep saying, well, players back 20 years ago didn't hit the balls hard. Well, I'd like to give the players of today a wood racket, see how hard they could hit the ball.
The new rackets have been very good for the women, not so good for the men.
Because the women really needed some power
Yeah,
in their game, and that's what the new equipment has given them, that power. They still have that control.
The men's game is overpowered.
especially on grass.
Although we had a delightful Wimbledon final last year with Agassi and Ivanisevic.
2 chances for Arantxa.
And she was playing serve and volley there.
She's listening to you, Bud.
That'll be the day.
Little change up here, throw Arantxa off guard. But Steffi's serve is so potent that it really does put you on the defensive. She should be coming in a little bit more.
She regains the lead, 6-5 in this opening set. Back to Hilton Head Island and our same-day coverage of the Women's Championship, the Family Circle Cup. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. The pattern continued. Another break of service. She was serving 6-5 for the opening set, unable to hold her serve. So Steffi Graf, the three-time champion Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, looking for her first go to a tiebreak. Graf to serve first in the tiebreak. Sanchez Vicario, 2 chances to serve out the set, but broken.
Now Graf came through in the tiebreaker yesterday against Sabatini, 7 points to 3.
Test of the emotional fiber of Sanchez Vicario, so close to winning the set, and now having to battle through a tiebreak. First ace. Only the second of the entire tournament for Arantxa.
Once again to the forehand side of the court. Steffi was leaning towards that backhand side.
Oh. She was hoping.
Boy, these players are both hitting the lines. This is very good strategy to come in on the backhand side. And Steffi, just that spin, brought it back into the court. Oh, disappointment.
2 points all.
What a lob.
Now we've seen it before. Arantxa saving a point with a great defensive lob and then winning it.
And then taking advantage of that defensive lob by coming in, following it to the net. Beautiful lob. Steffi, it was the right play to let it bounce because it was so close. But look at here. Now she comes, Arantxa's into the net right away. And wrong foot Steffi this next shot.
And the mini break to Arantxa, serving 3 points to 2.
That was an all-time point.
Well, change ends 3-all.
Both players anticipating so well at the net.
It's my friend from the Boston Globe often would say 6-all, 3-all, thought it would be closer.
I did think it would be closer. This is a dandy.
Well, Graf takes away both of Arantxa's service points and leads 4-3.
But Bud, you're right earlier. Whoever is winning usually is winning at the net. That's where the points are won.
It's very heartening to see both women starting to play this way. It picks up the game immeasurably.
Well, you saw Gabby play that way yesterday. You saw Jennifer play that way. That's just the way the women are playing now in an all-court game. Two forehands in a row, let's put it that way.
4 straight break points for all.
But she really hit that forehand on an open stance and just whipped that ball off her back foot. Not good technique. Jammer.
But she had the right, the sneak volley caught Graf.
Or anyone who has ever had a racket in their hand can identify with that play. How does the ball find you with a racket in the wrong position? Is the one to remember because it would have given Arantxa a chance to serve out this tiebreak. And now it's Graf a point away from the set. Graf now serves. A point from victory in this set.
And Arantxa just kept hitting to her backhand so many times that finally she gave her forehand and she was not in the groove.
Well, it has been a fight, puncher, counter puncher, and both coming in inside, fighting inside at the net. It's been a terrific set.
This is time now for a big serve from Steffi.
6 points to 5. Change in, 6-all. Each with 3 break points in the tiebreak thus far. Half the points. Sanchez Vicario serving for the set at 5-4 and at 6-5, broken. And Steffi Graf with 2 chances here in the tiebreaker.
How strange, an 18-stroke rally, a 21-stroke rally, and then Steffi misses a simple forehand.
Last 2 points were pretty easy forehands that she missed.
Graf, the top seed. Sanchez, Vicario, the number 2 seed. Sterling tennis. Nearly an hour for this opening set.
She played serve and volley.
She doesn't want to serve volley in the earlier rounds. She wants to save it for these spectacular moments.
So a 3rd set point for Graf.
The lob is actually a very good play against Arantxa because she's not the tallest player on the tour. Boy, she got up for that shot off the ground.
But she is one of the strongest smashers in the game. That's the only thing I liked about her game when I saw her first. She was 13 years old. Otherwise, she was a real pusher. But could she hit overheads?
Arantxa holds her 2 points. 7-8.
Once again, the shot that's her biggest weapon, but also lets her down the most.
Oh, the set point for Arantxa.
Close one.
She's half fouling back there.
Oh. Yes.
Tenacious stuff from both ends.
Well, the depth of shots was very impressive this point. Both players hitting within inches of the baseline. Arantxa just picking them up, half volleying practically.
Wonderful tiebreaker, both having
Yes.
set points.
we haven't seen many of these shots from Steffi Graf. A touch drop volley. Arantxa really struggling there. Her wrists and her hands are in front of her. Just some delicate touch there.
And for Graf, her 4th set point.
Longest tiebreaker of the tournament. Inez Goroshetegi had a 9-7 win over Mercedes Paz in the first round, and that decided the match. Two takes, I thought, but it's wide.
Steffi Graf wins the first set tiebreak, 10 points to 8. Welcome back. Just after winning the tiebreak in the first set, 10 points to 8, Steffi Graf to the sidelines, and you see the completion of the wrap and protection on a left knee that she was complaining of pain, and will continue in the match.
The WTA trainer, Kathleen DeStroya, was summoned. She first flexed the knee and then applied this wrap, and Graf took and allowed injury timeout. She was allowed 4.5 minutes. The timeout extends to 3 minutes, but since she took it on a change game, she gets the added 90 seconds. Now she's ready to go.
Opening the second set, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, who had many opportunities to win the opening set, but Graf would not be denied.
Chris, you have an injured opponent. What do you have to do?
Well, you just, you know, again, Arantxa is sitting there for 4.5 minutes. You just have to make sure that you get warm and you get out there and you forget about the fact that she is injured. So what Steffi has to do is get used to that wrap. It's a little bit different feeling. She has a little tightness around her thigh right now, and she has to get back her mobility.
She's shown no indication of favoring that leg.
And I tell you, when I used to play with an injury, somehow I'd always play better, because you know that you can't fool around. You just want to play your best and get off the court and take care of that injury. So you concentrate better as a result.
Does this mean Graf will try to win points quicker?
I think she's going to try to move first from side to side and see exactly how well it's feeling. Test it out a little bit to see how far she can go with her mobility. Arantxa, being forced up to the net, comes up with a good stab volley.
Absolutely no difference in Graf's play.
Certainly moved well during that rally.
I think that what Arantxa has to do is keep trying to move Graf from side to side, drop shot her, because what Arantxa really wants to do is to aggravate that injury even more. But Steffi's moving beautifully.
Got to try to pull her in a little and see how she reacts.
Right, because moving up
and back,
it's a different muscle group than moving side to side.
Second double fault in the match for Arantxa, and with it a break to Graf. Remember, Arantxa was serving 5-4 for the set and 6-5 for the set, and had a set point in the tiebreak and couldn't convert.
Family Circle Magazine Cup is brought to you by Rich Conditioning Preference by L'Oreal, because you're worth it. By Hormel Foods. By Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide. And by Chrysler Plymouth, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
Back at center court, Sea Pines, the injury to Steffi Graf, diagnosed as a tendon on the inside of her left knee, painful to her, but she showed no signs of favoring it in that opening game of the second set.
Well, Dick, very often when you do have an injury, you play better tennis. You play heads-up tennis because you don't have a lot of time to fool around. She didn't want to stay out there all day. She really cut down on her errors. Arantxa, on the other hand, I'm very surprised of her tactics. She tried to end the point early. She didn't jerk Steffi around the court and try to drop shot her, so she did not play a smart second set.
Well, Arantxa may have had the emotional hangover, the disappointment of losing that opening set. We go now to the action, still in the second set. Steffi Graf serving at 4-1. Graf serving 4-1 in the second. What a dramatic first set. 10-8 in the tiebreak. Injured a knee, but has played some of her best tennis here in the second set. In fact, that's only the second point that she's lost on her serve in the second set.
Sure, she's thinking about that match yesterday against Sabatini, where she was up 6-love, 5-1, and let down quite a bit at that 5-1 game. Before she knew it, she was serving in the tiebreaker. And against Arantxa, it's good to close out this match if she can.
Serve has been way off in this game. Perhaps the weight on the left knee.
Oh, sure.
That's her first double fault.
I mean, she has to put weight on that leg to really jump off the court, and she's not doing it.
All. They measure the speed of the serve here at Sea Pines, and Graf consistently in the first set was in the 90s in her first serve speed, now dropping down into the 70s. Well, that one better. 89.
Just couldn't make that move, did she?
No, and it is noticeable that she's not pushing off with that leg on her serve, because that's where she gets her extension and her speed. Oh.
Point of the match.
Steffi Graf really showing us some quick hands today. Hands are in front of her, racket in front of her, and boy, great anticipation.
That, Bud Collins, is the exact point you have made about Steffi Graf. She'll have Arantxa, Sanchez, Vicario, and Monica Seles and all the rest bowing if she can be that aggressive and successful at the net. Point from 5-1 in the second set. Surviving a break point against. Graf now leads 5-1. So Steffi Graf denies Arantxa her final chance, goes on to win that second set in the match at 6-1 and showed a lot of bravery doing it.
Steffi played better the second set when she was injured. I think she was a lot more patient. Arantxa, though, I think the accumulation of playing singles and doubles, I think fatigue was a factor because she wasn't her usual patient self.
Let's go to match point. And following match point, we'll go to Bud Collins, who had a chat with Steffi Graf. Graf breaking Arantxa to take this second set 6-1.
Still moving so well side to side despite her leg being wrapped up. I'm sure she's going to be taking the next few weeks off, however.
So Steffi Graf with her 4th family circle title, and then chatted with Bud Collins.
Steffi Graf, congratulations on a remarkable championship. You won the others unbandaged. What went wrong with your left knee?
Well, at 6-5 in the middle of the game, I turned my knee, twisted it, and probably stretched the tendon a little bit or sprained it. So it started to hurt a lot in the tiebreak, and the bandage actually helped a lot in the second set.
Did you ever consider quitting?
Well, I think if I would have had the pain that I had in the tiebreak constantly, I think I would have defaulted because there was a big chance that I could risk hurting the knee more.
Were you surprised that she didn't try to drop shot you or bring you up?
Actually, I did. I mean, I thought she's going to try to do more, to let me run more, to play a little bit higher, play drop shot or something. But, I mean, thank God she didn't.
And you were coming to the net more.
I know. Actually, on a few points I was thinking about you when you said about the serve and volley game. On a few key points I did the right thing, and that was very important that I stood up to that.
You did a lot of right things. Here is our one-legged champion.
Graf making Bud Collins' day, thinking of him going to the net and making her own day $150,000, the richest ever first place money for this Family Circle Championship. Stay tuned next. Ken Berg, this has been a presentation of NBC Sports. Hail to the champion, Steffi Graf. The #2 player in the world has won her 4th Family Circle title.